Everyone wants to be more charismatic, be louder, be magnetic, be captivating, more unforgettable. But what if that's exactly what is holding you back? Maybe people don't stay because you're impressive then. How does charisma translate if your society rely on other attributes and not charisma? And this is why I say charisma is having a major moment, but charisma is overrated. Then the goal shouldn't be charisma, right? It should be. So charisma is having a major moment right now. It seems like everywhere you turn online, it's a bunch of gorgeous people telling you how to get more charisma, how to be magnetic, how to be more captivating. Sit this way, smile this way, do not slouch, tilt your head this way, as if we were all cut from the same cloth. If the internet had its way, by now we will all be charisma machines. I used to pronounce the word charisma as charisma until I heard online that it's charisma and not charisma. We learn every day. People, as you can tell, English isn't my first language. I'm trying here, so bear with me. I didn't even do well in English while I was in school. I'm not proud to say it, but that reminds me, I wrote this English test exam a while back. Guys, I fumbled. I did. I found it so boring that I completely zoned out. I didn't even know when the exam began. Like, people were writing. I was daydreaming. It was moments later I noticed everyone was writing. Except me. Oh God. And the test had a speaking part where an interviewer would be asking you questions and then you would have to make up stories. I felt so silly making stuff up and saying them out loud. I mean, if I had to write them, fine, but I just felt silly. I felt ridiculous. It got to a point that I abruptly stopped speaking. My interviewer, this guy with a British accent, he just looked up at me and he asked me to keep talking. And I told him I had nothing more to say. Yeah, I was done. I didn't do so well. I had a 7. Not 7 out of 100, 7 out of 10. I mean, I'm kind of smart. I could have done better. Anyways, let's continue. Charisma. So, the charisma obsession. It's like the world has a crush on charismatic people. There are 4 well-established types of charisma by Olivia Fox. You can read more on it if you're interested. Anyways, what I noticed, what I observed. So what I observed is some people seem to have it while others don't. And I'll tell you why. You see, charisma, it's actually a survival strategy. I'll explain. It's a survival strategy that people practiced and enforced over time, that it became a personality. And that's the piece people skip. Remember, we're all a product of nature and nurture. So there are some people who are naturally born with traits that make being charismatic much more easier for them. For example, a person who is more expressive, a person who is more outgoing, a person who is more expressive with their voice, with their face, a person who has less fear in social situations, like in a group or in a crowd, a person who is naturally energetic or naturally emotionally engaging. You would agree with me that those traits are partly influenced by genetics. So it's partly a product of nature. Now, for the nurture part, charisma itself isn't something you are simply born with, but it's the way those traits that I listed get shaped, practiced, and then interpreted by other people. So doesn't that make a lot of what we call charisma a survival strategy that becomes a personality? Example, a child who learned that being funny keeps angry parents calm may grow up and become the life of the party. Think of Will Smith, the actor. He said something similar to this. He grew up in an angry family. He had to learn how to be funny to keep his father happy and calm and less violent. Or a child who discovered that being charming earned love and attention may keep using charm long after into adulthood. Guys, why does this feel like I'm describing myself? So after many years of practicing and enforcing these artificial behaviors we created to survive, to get us through our childhood in one piece, we get used to it and it becomes a part of who we are, like a habit. At the same time, someone else may be naturally outgoing and their source of charisma is their temperament and not a survival strategy. Context. Now, not all charisma is exhibited in extroversion. You don't have to be an extrovert to have charisma. There are some less obvious charisma out there. I'll give you examples. If you were the child, always keeping the peace in the family, calming everybody, and now as an adult, you keep doing it, and now it's a part of you. You grow up into adulthood, and you're always keeping everywhere calm. That's what it's called, warmth, charisma. Think Oprah. And if you grew up in a household where vulnerability wasn't welcomed, you had to be competent, you had to do well in school, you were responsible as a kid. And so now as an adult, control is what makes you feel secure, safe. And people see this as gravitas. You have what is called authoritative charisma. And another one, if you grew up in an environment where you always felt unseen in the moment, you felt powerless, and you always painted pictures in your mind for the future, bigger pictures, one where things could be different, and as an adult, it became your thing, your way of creating meaning and pulling people along with you. Think Steve Jobs. What that is visionary charisma. But for those of us that were raised in cultures where it's all about family, all about community, where family comes before the individual. Think Africans, Caribbeans, Middle Easterns, Indians, South Americans. Is charisma a big deal? Because in societies where you mainly gain favor because of your family name, because of your community, because your grandfather was a man of integrity, so now they let you occupy a position of power. Or if you're a person that always kept your word, dependable, reliable, it opens doors of opportunities for you in such communities. It works much more than charisma. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most people who want to learn charisma don't actually want more charisma. They just want to stop being invisible. Nobody who is actually secure in who they are goes about looking for charisma tutorials. The desire itself is the tell. Listen, I'm a 25-year-old who was born in the 80s, so I think I have lived long enough and I've got some wisdom to say confidently that you don't need more charisma. What you need is to be your best, healthiest, authentic self to other people, to expose who you really are. Because there's a great chance that you are already charismatic, guys. Now that we've come to the end of this video, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and also leave your comments in the comment section. And let's talk some more. Listen, I'm new in this YouTube space and more subscribers is gonna help, okay? Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. And until I come your way again, and the name of my channel is Why We Really Act the Way We Do. I'm Harley. Thank you.